Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. There's a lot of emphasis on Jama'ah prayer because of the many benefits that it has. Spiritual, social, political, and so on. It brings about a very positive spiritual atmosphere in a person's life because it creates that bond, that networking, that good, correct environment that any healthy community needs. Congregating and being together and uniting as one is very, very important. And that's why it is so mustahab. There are many riwayat and ahadith that speak about the participation in Jama'ah prayer. So much so that there are some ahadith that say that if a certain amount of people were to participate in Jama'ah prayer, even the angels would not be able to count the amount of rewards that each participant will receive. This is all due to the merit and the virtue of Jama'ah prayer. This short tutorial is going to explain how to join into Jama'ah prayer once it is being performed. There are many rulings for Jama'ah prayer, but I'll be only focusing on the rulings related to how to join into Jama'ah prayer. So we have Ali with us, who is the Imam of Jama'ah, and then we're going to have the Ma'moom. Ma'moom means the person who joins into or participates in Jama'ah prayer following the Imam. Ma'moom, follower of the Imam. So let's say in this scenario there's only one Ma'moom who wishes to connect into Jama'ah prayer, and the recommended thing for this one Ma'moom to do is to be on the right side of the Imam, and also because he's only by himself, it's recommended that he comes a little bit forward, so much so that when he prostrates, it's around about the knee area of the Imam when the Imam is prostrating. If there are young children in the first line and they are neither baligh nor they are in the age of tamyiz, then this is going to be a little bit of a problem. We have Zain al-Abidin, my nephew, and Hassan, my son. Hassan would be of that particular age, but let's say, for example, that he was also around about 5-6 years of age. And there were 3 or 4 of them, for example, in the first line. We've got the Imam, we've got everyone else ready. Ibrahim is connected to the Imam, but there are a line of boys that are here, and let's say Sadiq wants to join in. Sadiq's prayer would not be valid because of the large gap that is going to be here. So the best thing for Sadiq to do if he wanted to join in is not to join in here because of the large gap of 4 or 5 young children here. He would have to go around on Ibrahim's side, for example, and start praying Jama'ah from that side because it will be connected to the Imam. Here we have only one child, one young child, and will that be an obstruction for someone else who wants to come in and join Imam Jama'ah prayer? The answer is no. Because it's only one child and it's a small gap that's going to happen between the two people, there is still going to be a connection to the Imam, assuming that this was, for example, a long line. So the Imam is ready to pray, they've done the adhan, they've done iqamah, and the Ma'moom are ready to join into Salah. The Imam does his takbir, he says Allahu Akbar, and he starts with recitation, and then straight after that, the Ma'moomin, they follow by their takbiratul ihram. In congregation prayer, the Imam recites the Fatiha and the Surah on behalf of himself and on behalf of the Ma'moomin. So, if we were to see that the Imam is reciting the Fatiha and there is a Ma'moom praying, and then we see, for example, someone wants to join in, what do? They just say Allahu Akbar and they continue joining in with it. They don't need to recite the Fatiha or catch up or anything else because the Imam is still reciting the Fatiha or the Surah after that. the Imam is going to go into ruku', and then someone wants to join into the Jama'ah. Is he able to? The answer is yes. First of all, he does his takbir, he pauses a little bit, then he goes down to ruku'. The reason why he has to pause is because he needs to stop there at that time in order to do the qiyam before the ruku'. And that's why he needed to do that. So can you repeat that again, please, Sadiq? The takbir, he paused a little bit with the intention of qiyam before ruku', and then he went for his ruku'. The Jama'ah are in ruku' and they're just about to finish and go up from ruku'. Is Sadiq able in this stage to join into Jama'ah? The answer is no. Because the Imam is doing something totally different, and therefore he will not be reciting anything on behalf of the ma'mum. Because as we said, in Jama'ah prayer, only the Fatiha and the Surah, the Imam is reciting on behalf of himself and on behalf of the ma'mumin, those who are following him in Jama'ah. So what does he do in this scenario? He waits. He stands there or he sits down and he waits until the next rak'ah. In this scenario, the congregation have just finished their 2 sajdas or even their tashahhud, and they're going to now stand up, and Sadiq wants to join in. If this was the 2nd rak'ah, then Sadiq can do his takbir and join into the salah without any problem. Why? Because the Imam is reciting Fatiha and a surah. However, if this was the 3rd or the 4th rak'ah, would Sadiq be able to join in? If he is able to recite the Fatiha and the surah during the time that the Imam is reciting the Subhaniyat 3 times, which is Subhanallah walhamdulillahi wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar, or he might be reciting the Fatiha, will Sadiq have enough time to recite Fatiha and the surah? If he can, then that's absolutely fine. If he can't, which would be the normal scenario, what he needs to do is to walk into the Jama'ah, and then when he's in Jama'ah, they are doing their ruku'. For example, this could be the 4th rak'ah, for example. This could be the 4th rak'ah, and he wants to join in. It could also be the 3rd rak'ah, and he wants to join in. It doesn't matter, the 3rd, the 4th, as long as there is a qiyam and the Imam is standing, the person can join into Jama'ah. So, he is joining into Jama'ah. If you see what he did, which was the correct scenario, he waited until they were in ruku', he done his takbir, he paused, then he went down. This would be the best way to join in if they were in the 3rd or the 4th rak'ah. Do that again, please, Sadiq. So, they're doing their ruku', and this is the 3rd or 4th rak'ah. He does his takbir, he pauses a bit, then he goes down for ruku'. So the Jama'ah are in ruku', and Sadiq wants to join in. And he realizes that the Imam has finished his dhikr and he's about to raise his heads. Can Sadiq join? The answer is no. The only time when Sadiq can join in when the Imam is in ruku' is if he has enough time to recite the dhikr in ruku' as well. So if they were going up, then of course he can't do the takbir and join into the Jama'ah. Let's say, for example, the Jama'ah are still in their ruku'. Now Sadiq wants to join in, and he sees that the Imam is finishing off his dhikr. What Sadiq does is he announces that he is going to join into Jama'ah. So he would say, Ya Allah, or he would say, Inna Allah ma'as sabirin, announcing to the Imam that I am going to join in. Can you please prolong your dhikr in ruku' enough for me to be able to do the takbir and the pause after the takbir, and then the ruku' fixated enough for him to also do one of the dhikrs. I'm sorry that I'm not able to cover all aspects of Jama'ah prayer, but if we were to say that the Jama'ah, they're in their second rak'ah, going up for their third rak'ah, and Sadiq, who joined in a little bit late, was in his first rak'ah, wanting to go up for his second rak'ah. Does he recite the tashahhud while they are reciting their tashahhud? The answer is no. He sits in this position. He doesn't sit in the tashahhud position. He sits in this position because he is going up to recite the Fatiha and the Surah while they go up to start their third rak'ah. The salah is about to finish and they're doing their tashahhud, about to enter into their taslim. Are you able to enter into Jama'ah at this last stage? The answer is yes. It's also rewardable for you to do so, and you will receive the merits of participating in Jama'ah prayer as well. So all Sadiq needs to do is, he walks in, he sits down, the Imam is doing the taslim, and Sadiq now stands up and commences his salah on his own. Inshallah, my brothers and sisters have benefited from this tutorial, and the reward of all of this goes to those brothers and sisters who did request from me to demonstrate how to join into Jama'ah prayer. We need to encourage our brothers and sisters wherever we are to go to the masjid, sit in the masjids, participate in Jama'ah prayer, promote the participation of Jama'ah prayer, and it's a simple thing to do, but the reward is abundant. May we all anticipate the betterment of ourselves through worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and doing so with all sincerity. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi tahirin.